this regular expressions is actually applied in pattern matching algorithms. When you want to search anything, you will be applying these regular expressions. For example, if you put S star and type in a search box, then it will just give you the list of results which actually starts from S and then continue with any other character here. So typing S star like that, typing star.pdf, and if you want to just print the characters which starts only in A, and if you want to just take up the strings which actually ends only in N, all these things are called as pattern matching. Okay, so for this pattern matching, the higher order applications, higher order concept, what we are going to use here is called as regular expressions. So I think it takes another 1 or 2 classes for me to complete these regular expressions. So listen carefully how to frame the regular expressions and how to frame the pattern of it. So we have learned about regular expressions in the last semester. So just to try to recapitulate it, and we'll be applying it in practical sense today in PHP. So what is meant by regular expressions? So regular expressions is nothing but the sequence of characters. So which actually mean for framing the search pattern. So to find a search pattern in a set of strings or set of content here, you have to frame a pattern called as regular expressions here. And you can take up, you can search a string, you can search a number, you can search any sort of special characters in a bunch of contents which is available in soft copy. Okay, so regular expression is nothing but we can say it is called as a search pattern. So finally, you will get a result whether you have found or not. You will get a result called as true or false or yes or no finally. So if your pattern exists in a search content, then you will find a positive result. If your pattern does not have a match in the search content, then you will get a negative result. That's all. So finally, you will get a content called as yes or no here. So that is all about regular expressions. So you can search a single character, you can search a group of characters, you can search digits here from 0 to 9 in any order you can search. Okay, so in short, your text searching algorithms actually is highly dependent upon this regular expressions here. Okay, so that's all about the theoretical content of regular expressions. So we'll be discussing about regular expressions one by one. So how to do that in practical scenario. Say for example, if you are asked to develop a search engine, you know what is meant by search engine. Your Google is called as a search engine. Your Yahoo is called as a search engine. But when you compare Yahoo and Google, Google actually is much faster than Yahoo, because the search patterns and algorithms which has been designed by Google is designed in an extraordinary fashion when compared to Yahoo. Okay, and there are another search engines called as Hotmail search engine. So many search engines are available. Bing is there, but Google is much popular because of the search pattern and algorithm which has been designed in an efficient way. So we'll also learning today how to frame a pattern and how to search a particular pattern in a sentence here. Okay, I'll go to the next one. Listen carefully. Now, you can see here, this is called as a pattern here. I have given here in the variable called as expression, $exp expression here. And I'm just having a pattern here. So I want to search the pattern called as W3 schools. That means whenever my sentence is having a pattern called as W3 schools, I should get a match here. That means I should get a positive value called as yes or no or 1 or 2, something like that. Okay, so how to match a pattern here? So you can see here there is a slash before it. Whenever you see a slash before it, that is called as the starting of the pattern. Whenever you see another slash at the end, that is called as the end of the pattern. And after that end of slash, I use I here. That I is called as a case sensitive. That means case insensitive. That makes case insensitive comparison here. Suppose I type this word called as W3 schools in capital letters. It will only match capital letters here. If it is written in the sentence in small case, it won't match here. Okay, but when I type slash I means whether it is typed in W3 schools in capital or small letters, it will have a match. In that case, it only verifies the string. It won't verify what is the case you have typed in the particular sentence here. Okay, so and this slash is called as a delimiter. And it does not mean that you have to only use slash as a delimiter. You can use anything. for example, except a letter or number or any backslash or space, you can use anything as a delimiter. Even you can use hash as your delimiter here. But we'll be using slash as a delimiter here. Okay, so you can use anything. Now, if you want to type a delimiter, so it's not like this. Suppose I want to pay my pattern like this. Let us assume that this is my pattern. So pattern, not only you have typed like this slash W3 schools. Okay. And after this, I type an I here. So I is for case sensitive. So if you ignore that, it will make an exact match for W3 schools. Okay. Now, this way, even pattern can be typed like this. You can type like this, pattern equal to, you can put a hash before this. You can type W3 schools or hash like this. Okay, so here I can say that this is called as a pattern here. Okay, so instead of slash, I'm using a hash here, and after that hash, I'm typing I here. That means this pattern will only match if you have a case insensitive, whether it is capital or small letter, it will make a match here. Okay, so you can use slash here or hash here, any other symbol apart from letters or special cases like that. You can use anything here. So we will be frequently using this one. The first one we will be frequently using here. So delimiter we will be using here is called a slash here, but you can use anything. So there's not any constraint in using this. Okay. Now, are you able to understand this? How to match a pattern here? Yes. Yes. Tell me, ma.
Sir, we can use dollar symbol, sir.
Yes, of course you can use dollar symbol. No issues.
Okay, sir.
See, there is a rule here. You can see in my PPT presentation, there is a rule. A delimiter may be any character other than a number, a letter, or a backslash or a space. Okay, apart from these 4 categories, you can use anything as a delimiter. Are you able to understand, ma? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, listen carefully. The first function which is used for regular expression is called as P regular match here. So P is called as pattern and reg is called as regular expression and underscore match. So you are trying to match with the regular expression. So P is actually intent for pattern here. So P reg match is a function which actually matches a pattern in a particular sentence here. Okay, now how will you match here? So I just have a sentence called as visit W3 school. So imagine this is my sentence which is composed of 2 words here. Okay, I want to find whether W3 schools pattern which exists in that sentence. So when you just closely observe that, but that W I have typed in capital here. Okay, but pattern I have typed in small. Okay, since I have mentioned I at the last, whether you have typed capital letters or small letters, there will be a match here because it is case insensitive. So when there is a match, if you use this function called as preg match, then the first thing what you have to give, the first parameter you have to give that as a pattern here. The next parameter is called as a string here. So if there is a match, you will get an output as 1 here. That means it returns an integer value. Okay, if there is not any match, it returns a value called as 0 over here. So I will just demonstrate how to do that. Okay, now listen here. I have a string. Welcome to PHP class. Okay, so this is my sentence. Okay, now I want to ensure whether there is a pattern called as class in my sentence here. So I frame a pattern like this. You know how to frame a pattern. So pattern equal to, okay, so I use like this. Listen carefully. I use like this. I want to verify whether class exists in my pattern here. So I enclose this. Are you able to understand? So first line what I have included, that is called as a sentence which I have to verify. The next is I'm typing the pattern. I want to verify whether this pattern exists in that string or not. So this too. Finally what I'm doing is I'm doing like this echo. Okay, so the function here is called as preg match. Okay, so what is the use of P? P is called as pattern here. REG is called as regular expression, match, whether there is a match. So first parameter, you should always give the pattern here. Pattern. Okay, so the next parameter, you have to give str. So when you are trying to build your own search engines, then it will be helpful for you to do this. Okay, without knowing regular expressions, it is highly impossible to build a search engine here. Okay, now this pattern will be searched in this str. Of course, there is a match class exists in my search here. Okay, so I will get a match here. So I will run here. So output, I should get the answer called as 1. So output, I should get an answer called as 1 here. So I'll run this file. You can see here, there is a 1 here. Are you able to understand? Because there is a match. When there is a match, I will find 1 here. Suppose I type a pattern which there is not any match here. So because I type something like this, red. Okay. So there is not any word called as red in my pattern here. Okay. So obviously I will get the answer called as 0 here. So you can see here. Are you able to understand? Clear? Any doubts in this?
Sir, in between your voice is completely down, sir.
Oh my God! somebody should have notified me, ma. Okay. Now is it clear now?
Now it's clear, sir.
Okay. Are you able to catch what I said?
No, sir. Can you repeat the last 2 minutes alone?
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. No issues. No issues. Very good. Okay. Now listen here. There is a sentence. The first is called as a sentence. The second is called as a pattern. Now I want to find a pattern whether class pattern exists. Okay. Now class, this pattern actually exists in my sentence. Okay. So when this pattern exists in my sentence, you have to use this function called as pragmatch. First parameter is pattern. Next parameter is str. So where I have to search the pattern, I have to search in the sentence, and sentence is given in the name of str here. So if there is a match, I will get a value called as 1. So I run this one. I will get a match. So of course class exists in my pattern, so there is a match here. I return a value called as 1. Suppose I type a pattern which does not exist in my sentence. Oh, there is any pattern called as red. Red does not exist. Okay, so I'll search here. I will search here, and in this case I will get a value called as 0 here. So there is not any match called as red does not exist in my pattern. So I will get 0 over here. So framing a pattern and searching in a particular sentence or a paragraph or a file is very important for search engine. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, ma. So the next one is this function actually makes only one match here. So if there is n number of patterns in the same name, it will actually give only one. Yes, pa. Yes, Mohan.
Letters on the continuous it will work, sir.
Yes, of course. In this pattern, letters should be continuous. I will also say in what time, whether the starting letters and ending letters, what you have to do, how to write a pattern for that. Also, I will tell you how to do that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Mohan. I'll go to the next one. So I think you will be learning one or two, more than 1 to 2 classes related to regular expression. This is much important because when you want to design your own search engine without knowing this, it's highly impossible to do that. So extreme patience and attention is required to understand this. Clear? Okay. Now I'll go to the next one. Suppose there is another function called as pragmatch all. Okay. Now this actually searches wherever there is a pattern match here. Now listen here. I have a search engine. I have a sentence. The rain in Spain falls mainly on a plains. This is my sentence. Okay. I want to match whether AIN. So I want to ensure whether this continuous characters are in my sentence here. A-I-N. It doesn't mean that A appears in one place, I appears in another place, and N appears in another place. That will not be a match. The exact word, there should be a match in this pattern. So A-I-N, I'm searching here. So A-I-N appears in 4 different places here. In rain, there is A-I-N. In Spain, there is AIN. In main, again, mainly AIN is there. And plain also, there is AIN. So there is 4 matches in this. Okay. So when I use this pattern, it matches all the 4 locations here. So the output will be giving 4 locations. So the difference between preg match and preg match all is preg match will make only one match, whereas preg match all will match wherever the pattern is found. So wherever pattern, 4 locations my pattern is found. So I'll get an output called as 4. Now listen here, I'll show you. Okay. Now welcome to PHP class or to COM. Come. CO Company Limited, something like this. Okay. Now listen here. If you just check, I want to give a pattern called a CO here. I want to give a pattern called a CO. CO appears here and CO appears here. Common. Okay, I will type common. I will type, I have CO and CO here. That in this case, I should have a match for 2 patterns here. So first pattern appears in this location and then pattern appears in this location. So how to write a pattern for this? So I have to write like this, CO and then /I here. Now, preg match, instead of preg match, I have to type preg match all. So when I use this pattern, listen carefully, I should get 2 here as an output. So you can see here, 2 as an output here. Are you able to understand? Suppose what will happen if I give like this, say for example, PHP, okay, L here, LI. If I give L here, what will happen? What will be the output if I give like this?
3.
3 will be the output here because L appears in 3 locations. L, in class I have L and limited I have L here. Okay. So in this case, I will get 3 match here. You can see here. So there is 3 match. Okay. Now you can understand from this function that preg match actually makes only one match, whereas preg match all will matches wherever the match is found. Clear? So whatever the pattern you are writing is called as a simple pattern. I have not stepped inside any complicated pattern now. Okay. I will also tell you how to write complicated patterns, how to search a word, which starts from a particular character, and how to find a word which ends with a particular character. We'll be learning that also. Okay. Are you clear now?
Sir?
Yes, ma.
Sir, is there a way to print those matched words, sir?
Yes, I will tell you. Just now we are going for that. Okay. There is also another way. You can put inside an array, you can print it. It's always there. I'll tell you, ma, no issues. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Now, the next one is called as preg replace. This is very, very important. And for example, I think you are using a concept called as find and replace. Find and replace. There is an option in your notepad or WordPad or Word. You will find an option called as find and replace. When you type a string, it will find all the string. Then if you type replace, wherever the string pattern is found, it will be replaced by some other word. Okay. So that is done with the help of this functionality. That is not exactly done with the same language here. It uses the same functionality what this preg replace is using. Now listen here. I have a sentence called as visit Microsoft. Visit Microsoft. Okay, I want to match a pattern called as Microsoft here. Obviously, my pattern Microsoft exists in visit Microsoft. Pattern matches that. Okay, so now that pattern, Microsoft has to be replaced by some other pattern here. That means whenever I find Microsoft, that has to be replaced by here, it has to be replaced by W3 schools. At the end of the day, I should get a match and the output should be visit Microsoft should be replaced by W3 schools. This is what it is happening. Okay, so this spread replace is actually having three parameters here. The first is called as the pattern. That means the pattern which you have to match. And the second is called as which string you are using to replace it. And the third one is called as a actual sentence where you want to search the pattern. Okay. So the first one is pattern, second one is called as replacement string, and third one is the actual sentence which you want to search here. Okay. I'll show you how to do this. It's very simple. Okay. Now I will use this same word here. Now I want to replace all this else here. Listen carefully. There are else here. So class is having L, and this L is having L here. Now wherever L is there, I have to make a replace here. I have to replace it. So what I'm doing is I'm using otherwise I do like this. It's not go into a elaborate manner. So, well, all this L, wherever L is found, that has to be replaced by T here. So I'll use like this, replace. Okay, that means L should be replaced by T. Now I just write first is called as pattern, second is called as replacement string, and the third is I'm using a string here. Okay, now I will just run this file. You can see here. So L is getting replaced by the word called as T here. That means L is replaced by T. So welcome has been turned as welcome. Are you able to understand? So this is the way how to replace this. Even it's not only one word. You can use even welcome to SKCET. SKCET. So I can replace this SKCET by IIT. So I have written in a capital SKCET. Even if I write small SKCET, there will be a match because I have written the value called as I here. I is called as case insensitive. Even it is written in capital or small letter, there will be a match here. Okay. So I'm replacing SKCET by IIT. So I'll just run this. So welcome to SKCET should be replaced as welcome to IIT. Are you able to understand? Clear? Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. This is what, so we have learned about three functions. One is preg match, another is preg match all, and the third is called as preg underscore replace. That means if the match will be found and it will be replaced by the corresponding string. Okay. Now listen carefully. So when you want to use regular expressions, you have to use certain modifier. So what is that modifier? I have used I here so far. I is called as case insensitive search. Okay. And whenever I use M here, M will perform multi-line search. So I actually will be performing only in a single sentence. Okay. And when I use M also, it will actually search in multiple sentence here. Okay. U enables correct matching. So exact word. Whenever there is an exact word, it's a, for example, plain is there. Okay, plain is there. In that I want to search IAN. So there will not be exact match because PL is already there. Your AN does not match. So if you use U here, then it will exactly match wherever AN is there. So it should be a word exactly AN. So these three modifiers are frequently used, but most probably we'll be using case I also. I is used here. When you want to search multiple lines, you will be using M. But at the same time, you can use multiple modifiers also. I/M/U. So we'll be learning in due course of time. When I explain in an elaborate fashion how to write patterns, I will just explain how to use multiple modifiers also. For the sake of understanding, please make a note of it. There are three modifiers. One is I, which is called as case insensitive, and M, you can search in multiple lines, and U is used to find the exact match. Okay, that's about our modifiers. Now listen here. This is very, very important. So how to frame a pattern? Okay, suppose I want to frame a pattern which actually find a string which exactly which has only these three characters, only A, B, C. Okay, now listen here, A, B, C. So if my sentence is having any characters with ABC, I will get a match. Okay. If my sentence is having only D, E, F, something like that, then it will not make a match here. Okay. Now, if I use this caret symbol, this is called as a caret symbol. When I use a caret symbol, I will find a match when there is not anything called as ABC. I will find a match when there is not called anything called as ABC. And if you have a digits here, listen carefully. Find one character. Find one character. So if you have any sentence with the digits here, then you will get a match from 0 to 9. So I will just demonstrate this, how to do this. Listen carefully. Now listen here. I want to find a match like this. I write like this. I write A, B, C. That means it will search the sentence. It will search the sentence. You have to use like this. Use a pattern like this. Okay. It will search the sentence and verifies whether A or B or C exists in my string. Of course, A does not exist, but C exists, isn't it? C exists here. So C exists here. So I will get a match here. Listen carefully. I use preg match here. I use a function called as preg match. So preg match here. Okay. Now in this case, I should get the value called as 1 here. Listen carefully. So I'm getting 1. Why I'm getting 1 here? Why I'm getting 1? Yes, anyone can answer? Mayappan?
Sir, C exists in the string, sir.
Yes, C exists in the string. But even though AB does not exist, even one character exists in a string, I will get a match here. Okay, suppose I just frame a pattern like this, ABC. Instead of C, I make D here. Whether D exists here?
No, sir.
No, D does not exist. So in this case, I should get a 0 here. Just sit down. Yes, you are getting a 0. Are you able to understand? So it will verify whether these 3 characters exist. If any one character exists in out of these 3 characters, then there is a match. So you have to understand that this is not a word. This is called as a set here. Whenever I specify anything in square brackets, that is called as a set. ABD is not considered as a word. A, B, D are considered as individual characters. It is not called as a word. So if you want to make it as a word, you remove the square brackets. You remove the square brackets. Okay. Whether ABD exists in my string here now. Whether there is any string called as ABD in the sentence.
No, sir. No, sir.
No. So you won't get a match here. Listen carefully. You won't get a match. So obviously you are getting 0. Okay. Now if I write in square brackets, it means it will search for A, it will search for B, it will search for D. If any of these characters exist in that sentence, then it will make a match here. Okay. So now A does not. Yes, but tell me, ba.
Sir, if all these characters are present, means what will it will return, sir?
Even all these characters are present, you will get 1 here. There is a match. You are talking about
if I give match all means, sir.
Match also, match all means you will get wherever there is a match. How many matches are there? See, listen here, Mohandan, I will tell you. Listen here. Let us assume that E is here. Okay. Let us make E is here. E and I want to search C here. Okay. So now, listen here. How many E's and how many C's exist here? Listen carefully. There is 1 E. There is second E here and there is third E here. Okay. How many C's you are having? 1 C and 2 C's. Are you able to understand? So 3 E's and 2 C's. Finally, when you use preg match all, you will get 5 here. Are you able to understand, Mohandan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because you are not searching a string here, you are searching a particular character. It's called as a pattern, it is called as a set. Whenever I specify anything in a square brackets, that is called as a set here. Okay, Now listen carefully. So if I use preg match, I will get only 1 here because it matches, it gives me the result called as 1 here. Are you able to understand? Suppose I give like this. Suppose I give anything like this. A does not exist, B does not exist. Okay. If I put a caret symbol like this, what does it mean? Means it will search a string and it will find a match if A, B does not exist. If I don't use a character symbol, it will search for A and B. If I use a character symbol, it will not search for A and B. Okay, except A and B, all the characters are accepted. That is the meaning of it. Now listen here. In this case, A and B does not exist in my sentence here. Okay, so I will get a match here, obviously. Listen carefully. I'm getting a match. Okay, suppose if I remove this character symbol, listen carefully. So there is not any A-B sentence here. So I will get 0 here. Are you able to understand? Mayappan, Mundan, Narmada?
Yes, sir.
Kritika?
Yes, sir.
Okay, clear. So when I use a character symbol, it won't search the corresponding character which I mentioned over there. It searches other characters apart from A and B. Okay, if you don't use a character symbol, it will make exact search for A and B here. Any doubts in this?
Sir,
Yes, Mohan, tell me.
இப்போ அந்த ஸ்கொயர் பிராக்கெட்ஸ்ல வேல்யூ கொடுக்குறோம்ல சார், சப்போஸ் we give AB or EC sir.
A, B, EC.
Yes sir.
EC.
If
என்ன வரும்னு கேக்குறீங்களா?
yes sir, if we function we use a preg match all means match all கொடுத்தா என்ன சார் வரும்?
Match all கொடுத்தாவா? பாருங்க. Listen carefully. Wherever match is there, it will find the match. Listen here, there are 5 matches. I will show you. Listen here, there's not anything called as A here. A illa. Whether there is any B here? No. No B exists. Okay, but how many E exist? 1, 2, 3. Am I right? 3
Yes,
A
sir.
exists. And how many C exists? 1 and 2. So 3 E's and 2 C's. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5 matches. That's what I said, Mohan. Are you able
Yes,
to
sir.
understand?
Yes sir.
Clear?
Clear, sir.
Any doubts in this? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, I want to verify whether my string has anything called as 0 to 9. Okay. Any digit exists in my string. Okay. Now, listen here. Preg match. Okay. Anything called as 0 to 9 exists in my string. So I will get a 0 because this is not a pattern of 0 to 9. Okay. You can write like this. 0 to 9 means it includes 0, 1, 2, 3. You can write like this. Are you able to understand? 0 hyphen 9. When I use hyphen 9, it ranges from 0, 1, 2 up to 9. Okay. Now I include something like this. 2. So 3. Listen carefully. Am I getting a match here? Why am I getting a match here? Why am I getting a match? Can anyone tell me why I'm getting a match here?
The string has the number 2 and 3, sir.
There is a number called as 2 and there is a number called as 3 which falls in the range of 0 to 9. Suppose if I use preg match all, what will be the answer?
2, sir.
2, exactly. The answer will be 2 here. Listen here. I'm getting 2 here. Why I'm getting 2? Why I'm getting 2, Mukundan? Sorry, Mayappan.
So because
Number, sir. 2 and 3.
Okay, because 2 falls in the range of 0 to 9 and 3 falls in the range of 0 to 9. Suppose I write 0 and 9 like this. Now what will be the answer?
so 0.
0, sir.
0. Why?
So
Why?
because it is
Because
not in
now
a
this
range,
is
sir.
not a range actually. it actually verifies only 2 digits called as 0 and 9 inside the string. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to understand?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, I think I have to give a question now in an open forum to find the match for this. Okay. Now, my string is, listen carefully, my string is winter and summer. Okay. Now, I have to find wherever m is there. Where I have to find wherever n is there and wherever r is there. I have to find. I have to find only n, r, and m. Okay, n, r, and m. And I have to count the number of things. Say, for example, n appears one time, r appears 2 times, 3, m appears 2 times, so 5 times. I should get an answer called as 5. So I should match n and I should match m and I should match r. Okay. So I should find wherever match is there and total count should be printed for me. So now tell me how to write the code for this. Question is given to an open forum. Should I call the names? Yes. Anyone? I think Pradikshana, you are connected, ma?
Yes, sir.
Pradikshana, can you tell me what I have to do in the first line? Just one line, you say. Yeah.
Sir, first dollar pattern, sir.
Yes. Okay. You just dollar. Okay, ma. It's not first pattern. You just give the string, ma. Dollar str.
And winter and summer, sir.
Summer. Very good. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Winter and summer. Okay, ma. Very good.
Next line.
Next line, ma. Tell me, ma. Pattern.
Dollar pattern, sir.
Dollar pattern equal to. I want to match n, m, and r. Only n, m, and r. I should not match for everything. Okay. What should I write?
Sir, open quotation, sir.
Open quotation.
Backslash. And n, m, r same.
Whether I should type like this, ma? Like this. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
If I type NMR, that means it will find the word called as NMR.
Sir, if we give break match all, it will count the numbers of n, m, and r and give the total value, no, sir.
Yes, that is correct. But if I write the pattern like this, what will happen is it will search only the word called as NMR. Any word is existing NMR in winter and summer, ma?
No, sir.
No. I have to find individually a number of times n, number of times m appears, and number of times r. I have to mention in a set. So what should I do? Of course, you are closely correct. You are so close of correct. Only one thing you have to make a change here. So what should I do?
Leave space between them, sir.
No, that is not the case. Okay, leave it. No. Mukundan, can you tell me, ba? Mukundan?
Sir, put the square brackets in between.
Yes, exactly. You put a square bracket here. That it means searches n, m, and r individually. Are you able to understand? Now to find echo. Yes, now tell me, pa. Echo, tell me, ma. Frag match all. Very good.
Open bracket, sir.
First one.
Pattern, comma,
string. Pattern, comma, string. Okay, very good. Excellent. Okay, good prediction and good Mukundan. Well done. Okay, so this is the way of solving the problem. Okay, so I just said it. Now listen here. There are 6 matches for me. So what are the 6 matches here? Just check it out. N appears 1 time, 2 times. N appears 2 times here, and R appears 2 times. R appears here and here, and M appears 2 times. M and M. So there are 6 matches here. Are you able to understand? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose if I write like this, the question is not for a prediction. Anyone can answer. Kritika, are you connected, ma? Kritika is not connected. Okay, I think mic problem. Okay. Anyone from A section?
Sir, I have mic
It's not okay.
Okay, okay, no issues, ma. Okay. Anyone from A section? Gear. Okay. Now, listen here. I want to search. Okay. Only from D to H. I want to search the pattern only from D to H. What should I write? How to write it? D to H. That means I have to search D,
D
F, G, and H. It is in the sequence, isn't it? D, E, F, G, and H. Yes, exactly. So how to write it? D to H. We can write like this. That means it ignores ABC and it ignores after anything after H here. Okay, so it will find for D. Whether D exists here, yes, 1D exists. Okay, whether E exists here, yes, 2AE exists. So 3. Now the answer is 3. E. Whether F exists, no. Whether G exists, no. Whether H exists, no. So the answer should be 3 here. Listen carefully. So I save here. Now the answer is 3. Why I'm getting 3 here? Why? Why I'm getting 3?
Because it searches from D to H, sir.
Yeah, okay, okay, very good. So D exists 1 time and E exists 2 times. The rest of the characters does not exist in the string. So you are getting 3 here. Okay, are you able to understand? Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Okay. Suppose I want to find the characters which is of only from 1 to 5. Okay, I want to find the characters from 1 to 5. What should I do? 1 and 5 characters. 1-5.
5.
Listen here. See, listen here. You should not write like this. If, when you use like this, see, if it is in a sequence, you can write like this 1 to 5. Suppose I want to search 1, 6, and 8. Okay, you cannot write from 1 to 8. Suppose I want to search 1, 6, and 8. In that case, you cannot write 1 to 8. Why? Because it is not in a sequence. Because 1 after 1 you have to miss 2, 3, 4, 5. That should not be included in the sequence. So you cannot write 1-8 at the time. But if I say that from 1 to 5, that means you have to include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In that case, you can write 1-5. That sequence is permitted. Clear? So 1-5. So what will be the output in this case? Aravind Hariharan? Aravind Hariharan, what is the output in this case? 0. People are connected and whether mic is working. Okay. 0. Okay. And yes. Now, I think you know how to do this. Okay. Suppose Mundan, not Mundan, I will call this names or some names should be very frequent to me. Mahalakshmi, okay. Mahalakshmi, are you connected, Ma? Mahalakshmi?
Sir.
Yes, Mahalakshmi. If I write like this, Mahalakshmi, say for example, if I write okay, if I write like this, A, B, okay. Now,
Yes,
I'm having a string like this, S, K, C, T. Okay. Now, what will be the answer in this case, Ma?
Other than AB, it matches all the characters, sir.
Yes, exactly. Other than A, B, it matches all the characters. So,
Yes.
what will be the answer in this case?
5, sir.
5 will be the answer. Very good. So the answer will be 5 in this case. When I put a caret symbol here, it will match other than all the characters. Excellent answer. Very good. Okay. Very good. Okay, good. Suppose if I put C here. Not this is not the question for Mahalakshmi. The question goes to Mridula. Mridula, are you connected, ma? Yes, Mridula. Can you tell me what is the answer when I do like this?
4, sir.
4 is the answer. Why there is not a match? Because C there is a C exists in mix. Yes. So S and K matches. C does not match. E matches and T matches. So finally, I'll get an answer called as 4 here.
Sir.
Yes. Okay, ma. I am able to hear it. Okay. Good. Good, Mridula. Very good. Okay. Okay. So that's all about today's class, and I have only explained how to write the pattern in a fundamental way. Okay, so in the very next class, we will be knowing about how to write complicated expressions in pattern matching. So I will start from the scratch and I will leave you at the master level. So I will tell you how to write complicated patterns, how to match a word when it starts and it ends in middle, how to match all these things. We'll be learning in forthcoming lectures. Okay. So with us, do you have any doubts in the topics which I have covered so far? Any doubts? Anyone can ask me the questions. Yes, Mohan.
சார் இப்போ ஒரு கேரக்டர் வந்து ரிப்பீட் ஆயிருக்குன்னா திஸ் கேரக்டர் ரிப்பீட்டட் 5 டைம்ஸ்னு சொல்றீங்களா சார்?
ஆமா.
ஐ வாண்ட் சிங்கிள் கேரக்டர் இன் விச் இட் இஸ் ரிப்பீட்டட்னா என்ன சார் பண்ணணும்?
சிங்கிள் கேரக்டர் எத்தனை தடவை ரிப்பீட் ஆகுதுன்னு பார்க்கணுமா?
ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் if you give EC sir,
EC okay,
it will return 6 sir because 3E and 3C.
Okay.
I want to print E is repeated 3 times and C is repeated 3 times.
So that will be learning in the upcoming lectures. No issues. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you can count like that. It's very simple. Okay. This is only a subset of topic in PHP, but due importance has to be given for pattern matching. So I will also tell that how to do that. Okay. So at the moment, you should know how to write a fundamental pattern. That's very enough. That is enough at the moment. So next class we'll be discussing all these things. Clear, Mohan? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay. Okay. So that if we don't have any queries, we'll wind up the session. And thank you and Jai Hind. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.